Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. The topic to be discussed right now is on the soul comes into birth for experience and growth. Very interesting topic. It's on proposed birth and rebirth. The soul comes into birth for experience and growth. Each time we have already discussed in different formats in different languages. Right now we had the class on suicide. That's what we have seen. For growth and experience it is coming. For evolution till it can bring the divine into matter. कब तक चलेगा? How long it will continue? As long as it will continue till the process of evolution will continue till it can bring the divine into matter. As long as this process is continuing, there will be the birth and the rebirth of the soul. So far this rebirth is concerned, spirit to the spirit was the same in the previous birth and this birth. Maybe after the births you can find the soul is the same. Mind and the life altered to take new significance, but bodies after this birth, the particular birth, this gets decomposed. So body is some of the drifts of numberless births. You can find entirely the body entirely changed mind and vital you have seen, and this is the glory, this is the beauty of this soul. It comes to the fashioning chamber of the soul. You can otherwise know that realm of the soul. So again it has to decide when it has to take birth and when it will where, in which form, what type of experience are required, and the experiences it has already gathered which are required for the next birth and which are not required, they have to be thrown away. So this is the thing. This evolution will continue till it has to bring the divine into matter. It is the central being that incarnates. Central being that incarnates, not the outer personalities. The incarnation, everything depends upon the soul, the psychic being. No say from mind, life and the body, even if as much as even if it is highly developed, does not depend anything on them, how much they are developed. Everything, the central being, it decides everything. So the central being, it is the central being that incarnates, not the outer personality. The personality is simply a mood that creates for the figures of experience. Simply mood. You have that wooden that images you have built up, like Deva, Devi and all during the puja. So this it is like a mood that it creates for the figures of experience in that one life. They are sufficient. These they are confined to only something that something like the you can figures of the mood. In another birth, it will create for itself a different personality. The personality with which you are moving now, it will change. In the next birth, it will create for it a new personality, different capacity, different life and career. So in this life, your personality, your capacity, your life and career, everything will be changed in the in the course of action. Everything will change. So in the rights. In another birth, it will create for itself a different personality, different capacity, different life and career. It is not the personality, the character of that of who is first importance of in rebirth. It is the psychic being who stands behind the evolution of the nature and evolves with it. Nothing. Already I have discussed mind, life, and body. How much developed they are. They don't have any say in that matter. It is only in the evolution behind the evolution of the nature and cyclic. The presence of the psychic being is and its word is very much prominent. It is the psychic being who stands behind the evolution of the nature and evolves with it. It is also gets evolved. The psychic, when it departs from the body, already we have initially we heard some glimpse. The psychic, when it departs from the body, shedding even the mental and the vital on its way to the resting place, fashioning chamber of the soul. Initially, you can find the body is getting decomposed, mixing with the pancha bhuta. It is getting decomposed. Its presence is gone. Then comes the vital. That problem already we have discussed, and then mental level. So when psychic, when it departs from the body, shedding even the mental and vital on its way, and rising up to its resting place, fashioning chamber of the soul. Sri Aurobindo uses the very interesting word. Carries with it the heart of its experiences. Carries with it the heart of its experience. Whatever experiences it has gathered throughout the life. With these experiences, it moves to the fashioning chamber, psychic world. That is the permanent addition. That is the permanent addition. It is that helps the growth towards the divine. So in one birth, all the experience can't be gathered around. It takes birth to birth depending upon the growth, your progress. So time we don't know necessarily we are spending in the ordinary state of mind, ordinary state of consciousness. We are moving to here and there. But thing is that permanent solution will never come. Even in unnecessary you are delaying. So try to collaborate, try to be conscious, and your turn will come very easily and happily and steadfastly. Again, Sri Aurobindo goes forward, we can see death is there because the being in the body is not yet developed enough to go on growing in the same body without the need of change. It is not prepared, not actually, it has need of time. Why death is coming? Most of the time you can asking, why? Because the being in the body is not yet developed enough, developing, not developed enough to go on growing in the same body. In the same body, the growth will never be matured, permanent, developed, without the need of change. So there is a need of change, you have to change, you keep changing again and again. And the body itself is not sufficiently conscious. Body is not itself is not conscious that things are going on. It is there. Body is the chrysalis of the soul. Still, then it is not ready, sufficiently not conscious. For that, actually, the change is inevitable. There is no other go. This change is taking from birth to birth in different births, different formats, different angles we have seen. If the mind and vital and the body itself were more conscious, suppose there was an option. If the mind and vital and the body were little bit more conscious and plastic, death would not be necessary. Death would not be necessary because lack of receptivity, lack of consciousness, they are not unpreparedness. So Sri Aurobindo quotes very clear, in a very clear manner. If the mind and the vital and the body itself were more conscious and plastic, two words are using, conscious and plastic, death would not be necessary. Hearing seems to be very fascinating, very charming. But thing is that you have to work it out. Our problem lies there. When we are advised, we are told, you have to practice in your own life. This chapter is closed. We want to run away as quick as it is possible. Side door is there, and we'll cross we'll move towards the side door. And breaking the door, we'll try to go away. And next time we'll never hope to come back. That is the problem with us. Again, Sri Aurobindo goes forward a little bit ahead. At the time of death, the being goes out of the body through the head. Through the head, it goes out in the subtle body and goes to the different planes of existence in a short time until it has gone to certain experiences which are in the result of the earthly existence. How this death occurs? At the time of death, somebody has found, it is also seen, Many times, when a real photograph has been photographed and shown in the different newspapers, media. We have seen as soon even somebody was actually enveloped in a very airtight room, and when the soul actually departed, you can find there was a crack in the airtight that glass. It was concluded that the soul has that power. It just cracked, and through that crack it slipped off. So here Sri Aurobindo quotes nicely: at the time of death, the being goes out of the body through the head. Goes out of the body through head. It goes out in the subtle body. Here the physical body we see, that a subtle body, and goes into the different planes of existence for some time. We have seen mental, vital, mental, then psychic. Until it goes through certain experiences which are the result of the earthly existence. While discussing vital, we have seen experiences and all, and finally it goes to the psychic world. Afterwards, it reaches the psychic world. That's what already I told you. Psychic world, where it rests a kind of sleep until the time for it to start a new life on earth. Nobody knows when it will take place, how it will be, where it will be. Only psychic being decides. That is what happens usually. But there are some beings who are more developed and don't follow this course. Maybe because you people are sitting before me in Savitri and live divine classes and all, because not all are that much prepared. Maybe some developed soul with all developments are there. So the required path, the accustomed paths, this course may not be followed for them as they are little bit developed. Maybe your mother is choosing something else. So everything depends upon your preparedness, your psychic aspiration. That's what. Normal course of time is not allowable, expected from them. Even that example you have given, listen, when one sadhak was there in the ashram, he was forbidden to drive, and he was fond of driving. While driving, he got one accident, and immediately he was to meet his pathetic end. Immediately, his soul rushed to the mother and told, "My work is not complete. I don't want to cross over." Then immediately that time, actually, his elder sister was pregnant, and mother diverted his soul there. Still now, you can find his presence in the ashram. Sometimes, Pangulanghaitegiri Mukam Karoti Bachalam, but it is exceptional case. The soul does not go back to the animal condition. From animality through evolution, we have reached this human state. Many times questions are asked whether we are going back to the animal state. No, not at all. But a part of the vital personality may disjoin itself and join the animal birth to work the animal propensities. Exceptional case. Part will be departed and disjoin and join the animal birth to work out its animal propensities, greed, sexual desire, and all. There is after death a period in which one passes through the vital world and lives there for a time. Physical world, after this Panchabhuta, your body is mixing with that Panchabhuta. That next step is vital world. This is you can know one passes through the vital world and lives for some time. It is only the first part of this transit. This is the first part. Can be dangerous and painful. Here in the course, it can be dangerous and painful. One can help departed souls by one's goodwill and occult means. That is what we can do. Instead of going for puja normal religious way, you have to create one spiritual atmosphere. That is what Sri Aurobindo has advised. If one has the knowledge, he has to create a spiritual ground. Goodwill, occult means he can, if he knows, he can adopt. The one thing one should not do is to hold them back by sorrow or longing or anything else. It need not be, it is forbidden. Don't make any sorrow for him, and don't post some longings for him. That would pull down nearer to the earth and delay the journey. That is the problem. Delay the journey. For that, actually, you have to be very sincere. Instead of pulling them back to the earthly atmosphere and earthly tenements, try to create one spiritual atmosphere. Have goodwill for them, and finally, express the longings so that it will move up and the journey will be swift and straightforward. So that is what the requirement from our side for the departed soul. That's what for now. We can meet tomorrow at the same time. Thanks. Bye.